but I don't care.
Hey, what's up, my crowns and tiaras? Welcome to E-Toxic Tea Lounge. Everything in this video is allegedly. Let's talk. Disclaimer: I do not condone in any form of bullying or violence on this platform. Anything in this video is for information purposes and entertainment purposes only. These are my opinions. Okay, so let's get into some other things. This platform also consists of celebrity drama, rumors, opinions, roasting, and tea. And I'm going to be giving some shade. So, let's get into the antics. Okay, so in this segment today, we are going to only be talking about the new things that just resurfaced with the Megantheestallion and the Tory Lanez situation. Yes, we are talking about it again because it's clearly never over. Now, regarding the Kelsey, the Megantheestallion, and the Tory Lanez situation, okay, I already touched bases on this, but it's looking like Tory's driver that was at the incident at the time, that was supposed to go to the trial but came at the last minute, and they just shoved him away, okay, his statement has been released, the court documents is out, and we are going to be going over it and talking about it. This is looking a little bit, shady on Megan and Kelsey's side because it's not really looking good for them, especially with the things that he said. And the things that he said corroborated with a lot of the things that was in the story that was truthful. Okay? And we're going to get into the lies and the deceits of Megantheestallion. Now, y'all know I like me some Megantheestallion music, but y'all already know how I feel about the Tory Lanez and this Megan situation if y'all been rocking with me from the beginning. Okay, so here is the court documents. Y'all could pause. It's the affidavit. Okay, this is for Jaquan Smith. That is the bodyguard / driver. Okay, so y'all could pause to read everything on that page. Now here, I was the driver and bodyguard of Mr. Daystar Peterson, who is better known as Tory Lanez, in July of 2020. Mr. Peterson has been known to me for 7 years. At the time of the incident, I had worked for Mr. Peterson for 3 years. He has not only been my employer, but I also consider him to be a close personal friend. On July 12, 2020, I was asked to drive Mr. Peterson to the home of Kylie Jenner, where Miss Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris was present. Mr. Peterson was at Mrs. Jenner's home for approximately 2 hours when I received the call to come pick up Miss Pete and Miss Harris. Okay? Miss Pete is Megan and Miss Harris is Kelsey. Okay? Miss Pete and Miss Harris and myself left Miss Jenner's home, but I was asked by Miss Pete to return because she stated that she had forgotten a shoe. When we arrived at Miss Jenner's home at this time, Miss Harris stayed in the car while Miss Pete exited. Miss Pete did not enter the home at this time. She went around the back to the pool area where Mr. Peterson was located. Both Mr. Pete and Mr. Peterson returned to the car after a few minutes. Miss Pete was bickering, but I am unsure of the exact words she was saying. She seemed upset. The 4 of us left Miss Jenner's residence. Okay, so they left. Megan is upset. As I began to drive, Miss Pete started to fight with Mr. Peterson. They were going back and forth. I remember Mr. Peterson saying to Miss Pete that he was going to tell Miss Harris what was going on. I do not remember what street we were on, but Miss Pete asked me to stop the vehicle. I did as she asked, and Miss Pete went to sit on a nearby bus stop. Mr. Peterson went and spoke with Mrs. Pete. After about 2 minutes, they returned to the car, and I began driving again. Miss Pete started the argument again, and Miss Harris asked what was going on. Mr. Peterson told her that he and Miss Pete had been dating and intimate. Miss Harris was upset by this, as she and Mr. Peterson had been dating in the same manner. Prior to any relationship with Miss Pete and Mrs. Harris began to fight. So Megan and Kelsey began to physically fight. Okay. I pulled over to stop them. Miss Pete and Miss Harris both got out of the vehicle and continued to fight, both verbally and physically. I broke up this fight and was pulling Miss Pete towards the back of the car. I saw Miss Harris with a gun in her hand. Mr. Peterson ran from behind Mrs. Pete and myself toward Mrs. Harris. Mr. Peterson and Mrs. Harris began struggling as Mr. Peterson tried to unarm Miss Harris. I was still pulling Miss Pete, and she did not see Miss Pete and did not see who shot the weapon. I was lucky I was not harmed, and in my opinion, Miss Pete was also fortunate. The whole incident happened so quickly within just a couple of minutes. I wanted to present this evidence during Mr. Peterson's trial, but was prevented from doing so as the district attorney was not ready to cross-examine me, and later they did not call me due to the holidays in the court schedule. I believe I should have been allowed to present this evidence at trial. Now, this Megantheestallion and Tory situation, like I said in the beginning, Megan lied. Oh, it was glass, then it was bullet fragments. Okay, me and Kelsey didn't fight. Oh, the police report said you had a physical fight. Witnesses seen you had a physical fight, but on the stand you say you had a physical fight. But then she lied in the beginning, said they never had a physical fight, but on the stand they did. Okay, what else did Megan lie about? Oh yeah, she also said that she and Tory Lanez never got intimate, but on that trial, she definitely confessed. Okay, so it's looking like Megan has been lying a lot throughout the stories. The stories has been switching. Okay, it just was all over the place. The trial alone was a joke. There was barely any evidence leaning towards Tory to be the actual shooter. So it was a little bit off, okay? And it was weird that they didn't even let, this witness proceed. Like, it's just weird. Now, when it comes to Megan and Kelsey, it seems like they was fighting. They was drunk. They was fighting over Tory's eggplant, okay? Because let's not forget, this is where it all started. Okay, finding out information that they're both sleeping with the same man, and he's sitting there playing both of y'all, and the cat got out of the bag. Okay, but this just comes to show the incident happened fast. They was friends at the time. They see that they was dumb for fighting over a man. They made up a little story. Kelsey probably went with it, or whatever Megan said. They probably had a conversation. And that's just basically what it was. Because at one point they did have a open window to have a conversation to make up a quick story. So let me know how y'all feel about this. How do y'all feel about this? Do you even think that this means that Tory is innocent? Let me know down in the comments below. All right. Now let's get straight into the facts. Y'all already know Monday on December 12th, the trial is started. All right. So let's go straight into Megan gets on the stand, and Megan forgets everything when I tell you. She don't remember which way she walked to the vehicle. Did you see him shoot you or not? First you said he did. Then now it's you didn't see him shoot you. Was it glass or bullet fragments? But now we know it is fragments, okay? Did you argue or not? Because on Gail interview, you said it wasn't about you. You didn't touch no one or raise your voice. You played victim very well in that incident as if you was not part of that argument. You said the two people was arguing in the car. It was getting too heated and you got out the car, okay? Did you see Kelsey or not, okay? Which was it? Okay, because she said you didn't see Kelsey nowhere in sight when everything was happening, okay? Tory standing over the window or standing on the ground? Like, which one is it? You looked over your shoulder, you paused, you froze, you looked down. What is it? Okay? Did Kylie kick you out or you left because your wig was slipping? All right? Because everybody got different stories. You had sex with Tory, yes or no? Now we know you did. First you say you did it, then you admit on the stand that you did, okay? Let's talk about it, all right? Now, initially, these were the charges: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Okay, so those was the charges at the time, okay? And those were 3 felonies, okay? Now, Megantheestallion, okay, let me not even forget that she did lie about even having an argument in the car, period. She acted like it was other people in the car and it wasn't even her. She said, I didn't even raise my voice. I didn't even yell. I didn't do this. She just played the victim, cried her crocodile tears. I didn't believe that for 1 second. It just gave... I want people to, I don't want to lose my image. I'm going to say whatever I need to say in order to, make myself do not look like a crazy person. That's what it gave. But Megan Thee Stallion, she has been doing her thing when it comes to her music, okay? Can't take away her talent, but I felt like this situation gave a lot of people a drawback. And now Megan Thee Stallion just doing the tour. She just dropped the album not too long ago, and she's still, going and going. So this is presented, and people are talking. Now, will Megan Thee Stallion get canceled? Will Megan Thee Stallion, serve some consequences for lying and putting this innocent man in jail? If he's innocent, because we can't say nothing as of right now because nothing is confirmed, but we have our thoughts. Okay, and my whole thought process with this whole thing, Megan Thee Stallion from the jump started live from even when what happened. You understand what I'm saying? So, and Tory Lanez, he's in jail still. He has not stopped trying to prove his innocence. Okay, he has been trying. Okay, but he does music, and guess what? His music is gonna be coming out pretty soon. Yes, from jail. He said he figured out a way, and I'm going to be right here waiting for his music, because I also like Tory Lanez music, and you can't tell me who not to listen to because of whatever personal problems they got in their own lives that got nothing to do with me. All I do is talk about it. But at the end of the day, that is all we're going to be talking about in this video. I want y'all to let me know down in the comments below how you feel about it, because me personally, I feel like more things should circulate, because there's no way in hell a witness said the same thing. Now the driver said the same thing about the situation and how it happened. Okay, there was a struggle, there was a fight, there was a whole bunch of stuff. Now it might have been an accident, but it seems like Kelsey was the one that was heated. She probably was getting beat up by Megan Thee Stallion, and then she ended up trying to go for the weapon to try to get her, and then Tory jumped in the way and she wasn't able to do that. Maybe she was still trying to press on the trigger and try to aim it while they, shuffling around, and it ended up just going towards that way by Megan's foot. Okay? Because clearly it was her foot. It wasn't anything up or anything, so maybe it was a struggle. Okay? But at the end of the day, we are going to see how this plays out. If more evidence come out, or if there's any update, y'all already know I'm going to talk to y'all about it. So I just would like to see how this is really going to unfold. And all the people, like, if he really do come out innocent and she does be proven to be a little liar, I really want to see what everybody got to say. The one that was so Team Megan, as soon as she came out and said Tory's name about the situation, everybody flew to Megan like, what? Why? Because she's a woman saying it? Yeah, act like women don't lie on men all the time. So I don't know. For some reason, in my gut feeling and how I was feeling at the time when everything was happening, I didn't think Tory did it on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think he intentionally, did that. I feel like her and Megan had a fight. There was a struggle. They fighting over Tory Lanez. The cat got out of the bag. And then everybody talking about but he calls her Kelsey from jail and he said sorry to that. He never explained what he was sorry for. Everybody speculated. That's just what we do with no confirmation. Okay? He could have easily been talking about him even opening his mouth to let the cat out the bag about him freaking on the friends. Because they're best friends. And he's freaking on them. And Megan knew that Kelsey and him was messing around, and she still dealt with him. So that's probably the reason why he said Megan is never going to forgive me, because it probably was their little secret. Everybody was drunk and everybody was letting out secrets and fighting and everything else. But at the end of the day, we are going to see who is a big fat liar at the end of the day. And we are just going to see. But anyway, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Until then, toodaloos, bye-bye.
Ooh, shawty, you try, yeah. Voice getting filled with entitlement. Why would you tell me those lies? Why